Hi guys, how you doing? Look at this dirty microphone. I need to dust more. So, guys, perfectionism, okay? This video here is very important because many of you guys will be suffering from this, and this here is sometimes it's quite difficult to tell the difference between perfectionism and procrastination. Okay, so these, there's quite similar topics, but this here is about perfectionism and why it does not get you anywhere online, especially in the affiliate marketing business. Okay, so. And you can see here now, guys, I've got my morning here, I've got an old jumper, I've got a weird light here from the window in the background, I've got some screws here, I've got a box here, right? I haven't got lighting on, just my ceiling light, I haven't got the lights on. It's not perfect, but it will do, okay? Because the message is what this is about, okay? So I've got this kind of set up here just to illustrate this point of it doesn't need to be perfect, okay? Because it's about how you convey the message. So when it comes to perfectionism, guys, it's a terrible trap in the beginning because it's mainly down to just human behavior. Because in the beginning, when you're starting from scratch, from zero, everybody else seemed like an authority compared to you. Everybody else seems like they know so much more than you. Everything else and everyone else is much better than you. So people tend to kind of overcompensate by trying to make their content perfect. You know, whether it's aligning images perfectly or having the perfect font or having the perfect whatever. They spend so much time agonizing over every last little detail. It slows them down to a halt. The number one problem with being a perfectionist is the fact that A, it takes much longer to get stuff done, and B, sometimes you don't even publish the content because you're too worried it's not perfect, okay? And that comes down to the fact that people compare themselves to others, and they also they let their ego and their fragileness determine whether or not they post stuff, okay? Whether or not your friend from high school 10 years ago, who you don't even talk to anyway, sees your content, it shouldn't matter one iota, but for some reason it does, okay? So, when it comes to building a business online, guys, in the beginning it's very daunting, okay? And being a perfectionist will destroy your progress because you have to accept this point here, guys. You must accept that you can only do the best you can at the time, okay? Because don't forget, people tend to think that when they come online that they should magically just kind of know stuff right away. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, when you come online to do when you come online and start searching for make money online using whatever, you're entering a whole new career, a whole new lifestyle, a whole new entity, which takes time, right? So it doesn't matter if you're doing content research or if you're creating videos or doing blogging, social media, if you're learning about email marketing, whatever you're doing, it takes time because you're learning a whole new skill set. Think about your job, right? Whatever you do in the world, right? How long will it take you to become good at that? 2 months? A year? 2 years? How long before you were like a settled pro or like you were promoted, right? Probably years. So it's the same online. So understand that you can only do the best you can at the time, and you have to accept and get used to publishing content that is only 75% perfect, right? Because nothing you're going to create will ever be good enough because in the beginning your knowledge is limited, which means you can only do the best you can at the time, and that is probably never more than 75%, okay? And you have to stop comparing yourself to others. This here causes massive procrastination, self-doubt, self-loathing, and it makes you overthink things, and that's where perfectionism starts kicking in, okay? So that's why I've got this video here like this, no lighting, whatever, I can put this here, right? Who cares? Doesn't matter. My desk is shaking, right? I'm humming, I'm hawing, I'm saying like too often, I'm saying right too often, and so on. Does it really matter? I could make it perfect. I could spend the next 6 hours scripting this and having a teleprompter and having perfect lighting and getting my $2,000 camera up and right. Or I could just make some notes, do the basics, hit record, do a dry run and try it again and do it again and make it 75%. Okay, because that saves so much time. Because ultimately, guys, where you are, okay. You haven't got a production team. You haven't got a full-time editor. You haven't got a proofreader who can read your blog post. You haven't got a project manager, right? You haven't got any resources. This is you alone doing your thing online. That means publishing stuff quickly, still to a good standard or the best you can at the time, but getting it up there means a hell of a lot more than arsing around trying to make it perfect, right? Because it doesn't matter. So get used to these 3 basic points here. So for example, with blog posts, videos, social media, and so on, it comes down to the following, right? For example, with blog posts, right? Here, obviously, within blog posts or within videos or within social media, I can make 100 list bullet points of stuff not to worry about. Okay, but obviously, that'll take like 6 hours to go through. But here I want to explain to you that when it comes to, for example, with blog posts, right? Do the best you can at the time, because SEO is a skill that takes years to learn. And here, the ultimate irony here is the fact that in order for you to get data back from Google, okay, you have to do one thing. You have to, ironically, create content. But because people are so worried and they agonize over every last SEO element, they think, oh, this text here, should it be here or should it be here? Or this headline, should it be H2 or H3? Or this image, should I, the alt tag, they start over-analyzing everything to death. The irony is they end up not publishing the content when the content is the exact thing they have to publish in order to put it up there to get indexed so you can get data back from Google to figure out, measure it. Where did it rank? Why didn't it rank? How long was it compared to others? What happened? Where did it go, right? And so the irony here is the fact that perfectionists will over-agonize over site speed, over every last thing, to the point where it slows them down, where they don't create content fast enough, and so ironically, they don't get any traffic because they give up long before it's even due, okay? And the same goes for writing, right? You are not Charles Dickens, okay? You are not an author. So your ability to write, you just do the best you can at a time, right? Because guess what, guys? I have had blog posts rank. I've had tens and tens and tens and tens, hundreds of thousands of visitors to certain blogs I have, right? I'm a high school dropout. I can barely spell. My grammar is horrific, okay? It's not about that. Obviously Google cares about spelling and so on, and Google cares about the basics, but even a high school dropout can rank in Google. There's no science behind it. It's just about you, doing the best you can at the time and move forward, okay? Same with video content. Get the best microphone you can and start with that. Upgrade as you go, because you're one person, you're alone. Most of you are struggling financially, so obviously spending $200-300 on a perfect microphone at the beginning is a bit of a reach, right? So start with the basics. See this microphone here? This one here. This was my, I believe it. I'm pretty sure it was my first microphone, right? Blue ball, snowball, right? It's a great microphone. The audio isn't perfect, right? But it's good enough. I used to have like 4 or 5 or 6 books stacked up on my desk and have it here, boing, right? Because it hasn't got a stand. And this one single microphone has been responsible for at least $250,000 in sales for me. Okay? This is a $30 thing. Okay? I only upgraded this one here, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, right? And so you can see, guys, keep it simple, right? KISS, right? Do what you can at the time, move forward from there. And the same goes for things like when it comes to confidence. Because with video, people are more reluctant because it releases a lot more human emotions in terms of self-loathing and feeling insecure about yourself and so on, which is normal. Because personally, I hate my voice. I hate the way I talk. I talk way too fast. I mumble. I'm receiving hairline, right, and so on and so on and so on. We all have reasons to not want to do video. But same thing again, where once you start getting used to just hitting record, doing your thing, okay, whatever structure you have, and then just go, you know what, it's good enough, get it up there. Because what happens is, when you get content up, you get feedback, you get data back, you get keywords back, and most importantly, you get traffic, you get leads, you get sales. And that's when, by you accepting and removing perfectionism, you put content up there that is good enough, you get some traffic, and you go, holy shit, it worked. I got traffic. Suddenly your ego increases, your confidence increases. When you go back again to create next content or the next one, you feel better about yourself. And suddenly your content gets better because you know what you're doing. And most importantly, you get hands-on experience. And so when it comes to narrating videos, just do the best you can at a time. Anyway, guys, the proof is in the pudding, right? I'm here. You're watching me right now. What did I tell you? You came to me, right? You found me online. So does it matter if I stutter a little bit? Does it matter if my hair isn't perfect today? Does it matter if a box there in the background? Do I want it there? all the time? No, of course not, right? Use some common sense. But does it matter? No, right? Same with social media. If you're not sure what to post, if you're not sure, like, what do I tell my followers, like, what do I post up there, right? Again, obviously, you have training inside Tao. You have training on YouTube, yeah. And most importantly, guys, the simplistic common sense is, what are your, what are other people posting in your niche? Have a look. What are they doing? Okay? Don't just copy and paste their stuff, but have a look and think, okay, so they're using this sort of call to action, they're using that style of image and that kind of video. Okay, and go over that. Don't over-agonize it, because at the end of the day, guys, just get it up there. That means more. Because the bottom line is this, guys. The bottom line is this. Unless you publish content that is 75% published, you cannot improve, because there's nothing to measure. There's no data. If you're worried about ranking your blog post because it's not perfect, okay, and you don't publish it, then how will you know if it ever ranks or not if you didn't publish it? Publishing a sort of mid-level blog post can still rank, guaranteed, right? But unless you publish it, you're not going to get any feedback, you're not going to get any data back, you can't measure it, you can't compare it to the last one and to the last one. Because obviously, by the time you've done two blog posts, 3 blog posts, 4 blog posts, you can start seeing improvements. You can compare, where did that one rank? Did that one rank? What about that keyword there? You start actually having hands-on experience. And unless you get used to publishing content that is 75% polished, you can improve because you have no hands-on experience, right? Because, if you want to learn to drag and drop inside Thrive Architect, or if you want to learn how to research, if you want to learn how to do anything, you have to have hands-on experience. I cannot believe the amount of people who come to me inside Tao and I say, go and do this or do that or whatever, and they go, oh yeah, I know that already. And I'm like, okay, so show me. And they go, I was going to, because I bought this course, right? And they start making excuses. And I'm like, so you haven't done it yet? No, I was going to, but, excuses, right? So watching a course, watching a video does not mean you've done it until you've actually sat down, hit record, and gone, hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about blah, 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 blah. Or you've written, hi guys, in this blog post, right? Until you do that, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about, okay? And that's why getting content up there means far more than arsing around making things perfect, okay? And ironically, unless you actually publish content that is 75% polished, you can't build your business because you're not building the business. And because again, people often think being busy, right, is being productive. No, it's not. If you have a to-do list that is like 100-fold, right, that's too much. You have to start breaking things down. Again, if you haven't already, read this book. Okay, go and read this book. The One Thing. And you understand that multitasking is a myth, okay? Having a list of like a gazillion things to do is very unproductive. And being busy is very different from actually building a business. And the irony is that most people have at least 3 or 4 different projects on the go. So if you right now have 3 or 4 different channels, you're an idiot. If you have 2 different blogs, you're an idiot. If you have 2 social media pages, you have this business, that business, you're an idiot because you're wasting your time because you're not going to progress, right? Particularly if you have a job. If you have a job and a family and so on, and you're trying to build a business online, but you're so unorganized that you have got 3 different projects on the go, you are then increasing your time to success 3-fold. Okay, it's going to take you 3 times longer to succeed because you're splitting your time into 3 different places. Okay. And all this here comes back to being a perfectionist and so on in many ways because people overthink things. But the main thing, guys, is you have to be practical about what you're doing here. Okay, be practical. So remove anything that's too far out of reach for you. All right. Tackle simple keywords and simple ideas. So let's say, for argument's sake, you are about to make your first video ever. Okay, and you've bought one of my courses. Or you're inside Tao, and you're going to make your first video ever. Out of these 2 topics here, right, which one do you think is most suitable that will cause you to have lower fear, less procrastination, less perfectionism, and make you actually hit publish and make you move forward, actually upload the video and go, boom, I'm done it. Which one do you think is going to most likely happen? One video called, let's say for argument's sake, you're in the weight loss niche. One video called the 90-second hack to bootylicious booty. Or the ultimate guide to losing weight quickly as a beginner female, because this ultimate guide is going to show you how to do it in 30 days. which one do you think is the most applicable that you can actually do quickly? The first one, okay? Because it's a small, simple video idea. It's a small, simple title, okay? Similarly, you know, something like, for example, I don't know, let's say you're doing videos about Microsoft Excel, right? Excel, and you're doing tutorials. What's most likely for you to finish quickly and actually get done, so you can actually hit upload and move forward? One called How to Add an Image to Excel, or one called The Ultimate Guide for Beginners to Create a Perfect Excel Sheet for Work, right? This one here. You get it done and move on. That's the point. You work within your grasp, okay? That's why whenever you're choosing a niche, whenever you're building your first business and so on, your job is only to know 1% more than the person behind you who's Googling certain basic search terms. That's why you tackle simple search terms, simple keywords, simple queries that you know you can actually handle, and you move from there, because every single day you're growing, you're learning, you're failing forward. So in 6 months, in a year, you can tackle those much bigger topics because you've actually tackled them all before in micro small doses, okay? Next one here is to remove yourself from anything that's out of reach of your skill set. Again, you know, the perfect example is, you know, for example here, people spending thousands of dollars on video equipment and lighting and cameras and stuff that they have no idea how to use. Okay, and they kind of they're so busy. They're so busy being busy, they've forgotten to be productive. Okay, and they're doing stuff that is just simply out of reach. There's no point doing it yet. And so it's so important here to reflect on everything you do. Analyze your implementation period, like how long did it take you to write that blog post? How long did it take you to make that video? Remove anything that tells you that it's out of reach for you, okay? Things like, for example, right, green screens. Don't use them, okay? Don't be on camera. Beginners always try and tackle huge topics. You know, I'll get someone come to me all the time, people who are complete beginners, never built a blog before, have no idea how SEO works, have no idea how YouTube works, have no idea about email marketing. They'll come to me on like day one and say, Philip, I want to be a coach. I want to coach people. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but coach them on what exactly? Like, what are you going to coach them on? I want to coach them on stuff I do in my normal real life. Okay, that's great. But you've got no traffic, you have no list, you have no following, you have no subscribers, you have nothing. So who are you going to coach? Right? You start with the basics, the content. You get people to come to your blog first, your business, your website, your social media page, whatever, and then you start. Or people come to me and say, Philip, I want to, for my lead magnet, I want to create the ultimate guide on this thing here. It's going to be 5,000 pages long, and it's going to be the best thing ever. And I'm like, again, that's great, but you're going to spend how long? 6 months creating a lead magnet? Have you got any traffic? No. Have you got subscribers? No. So who's going to see it? Nobody, right? And the most common thing for these types of people who want to do these things here, they tend to be perfectionists, because they take so much pride in their real life, in the real sort of the real careers, which is wonderful, that they forget that online you're starting from scratch. You're learning a whole new skill set. So having the perfect ebook is irrelevant because you're learning stuff as you go. Or, you know, people will spend weeks and weeks perfecting every last inch, every last margin, every last whatever inside on their squeeze page on the website, even when they have no visitors. Or spending thousands of dollars on camera equipment and so on, and spending months learning how to have the perfect green screen when, again, it doesn't matter. They procrastinate. They start having everything perfect and so on. Most important, guys, these 2 points here, these two are the most important right here, okay? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see properly, right? These two here, boom. These two here. Stop giving a shit about what people think about you, right? And take it on the chin when you make a mistake and learn from that. Don't play the victim and blame your tools, blame your computer, and blame your internet, and blame your mentor, whatever. It's your fault, okay? When anything goes wrong, it's always your fault. Take that responsibility, okay? Because that's how it goes. And most importantly, don't worry about what people think. Don't, like, whether or not your friend from high school 10 years ago who you haven't spoken to in 10 years sees your content or whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. If that's what's going to stop you from creating content because it's not perfect, you've already failed. Just stop now, give up, and go and have a 9-to-5 job, because you're never going to be an entrepreneur. Because if that's all it takes for you to have self-doubt and to have so much fear that you stop, then you got a lot worse coming. Don't worry. Okay? As soon as the trolls find you, you're going to be easy meat. Okay, so you have to basically get thicker skin. Okay, and remove any emotions from this, because nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your feelings. Okay, so because again, think about your own user behavior. Right, when you search on YouTube for how to make money online with YouTube or whatever, right? and you see a video from a person, do you care if that person had a good morning? Do you care if that person who made that video looked at his competitors and went, oh, his video is so much better than mine, and I don't feel good about this, and me. Do you care if he'd had a bad morning? No. You, as a consumer, you're like, how to make money on YouTube? Click. Come on, get on with it. I'm watching. Come on. Hurry up. Stop. Why have you got a stupid intro? Okay, now he's doing it. Okay. All you care about is getting the information you want. All you care about is getting the knowledge from that person. And you go, close, boom, whatever. Okay? You don't care about that person. And you are now a content creator. Okay? Your feelings don't matter. Okay? If I woke up this morning feeling a little bit tired, a little bit depressed, and a little bit kind of, what am I doing with my life? This online thing, is this really for me? Do you give a shit? No, you don't, okay? Because you're here, you're inside Tao, you're like, Philip, show me what to do. And here I am showing what to do, okay? I'm just like, because we are in the customer service industry here, guys. You're providing information, you're providing content. Just like when you go to your local Starbucks and you go in there, do you care if the barista is having a bad day? No, you want your coffee so you can go and drink it and go. You don't give a shit about them, okay? You're there because you want something. And so when it comes down to you guys, stop worrying about what people think, because that causes you to procrastinate. It causes you to also become a perfectionist because you think that you have to make it perfect, otherwise people are going to laugh at you. And they don't, because they don't care about you, okay? Understand that. So guys, when it comes to perfectionism, it's a real tricky one to do, okay? There is no fast solution. It's a daily battle. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily thing of just kind of getting over it and moving forward, really. And what you can do, guys, what I recommend you do is start simple, okay? Start with a simple query, whether you're doing blogging or YouTube or social media, whatever you're doing, right? Start with something simple, okay? Choose a simple topic, a very simple thing, and then just try creating content quickly that is just very simple, simplistic in nature. And when you see yourself starting to fiddle around too much, or when you see yourself starting to doing take number 35 of the video, or you're rewriting the same paragraph again and again and again and again, or you're agonizing over the spelling or the grammar, or, oh, is this image going to go here, or image going to go here, or, oh, an image, is it the right size, or should I have bordering around it? And you start doing that, stop yourself, okay? Because it is a daily battle. It is a daily struggle, because it's like anything else in life. It's a daily reminder before it becomes a habit, and then before it's like a discipline thing, right? You have to kind of stop yourself from doing it, and it's not easy. But if you start putting in sort of certain restrictions on yourself, and actually start measuring what you're doing. So, for example, right now, today or tomorrow, whenever you start writing your next blog post or you're making your next video, time yourself. Actually get your phone and actually time yourself. How long did it take you to make that video? And then the next time, try and do it faster, assuming that the keyword and the title or the topic is similar in nature, okay? And try and see, can I do it faster? And then try and identify what took the longest. Was it editing? Was it the design? Was it the scripting? Was it like the research? What took the longest time period? And I think to myself, it took me 4.5 hours to edit the video. It was only 4 minutes long. Maybe I can shrink that down a little bit. Try and analyze yourself, analyze what you're doing, and you start from there. So guys, when it comes to procrastination, perfectionism and so on, there is no easy cure, but if you're aware of it, then you can start going with the basics. And this, guys, this is the basics. Get used to just hitting publish and moving on. Otherwise, you never, ever move forward. Okay? So guys, any comments, any questions, any concerns, any contributions, comment below, or comment on a post inside the community. And guys, thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon for the next post.